Hi, my name's Kevin and welcome back to Tractors in Life. So I thought we'd do something a little different on the channel today. I want to talk about tools. You own a tractor, you own a skid steer, excavator, whatever the equipment is, even a lawn tractor. There's certain types of tools that I think that are must-have, and we're going to look at those today. I'm also going to show you ones that are, let's just categorize them as nice to have, not necessarily mandatory. Now I've got a lot of tools. I do this YouTube channel, so I do a lot of different projects on the tractors and around in the barn and what have you that other people just might not do. So why am I doing this video? Well, I believe in trying to do as much of my own work as I can. Not anxious for the inconvenience and the expense of having to take things to the dealer every time that there's an issue, or if I want to do an upgrade to a piece of equipment. Plus, the other thing is I love doing it. I really do. I love learning. At this late stage of my life, I like learning. I'm not just a YouTube creator, I'm a big YouTube watcher. I watch, on regular TV, I watch the news and I watch sports, and that's about it. I love YouTube because it lets the viewer watch in keeping with their individual interests. And I like channels that teach me something. I would really, really welcome viewer comments. Tell me what you think. Tell me if I'm off base on some of this stuff, or maybe you think I'm just missing something that's absolutely critical. So let's get started. Thank you for joining us. So we're going to start right here at the toolbox. So in no particular order, and again, I know I've got kind of extensive tools compared to some. Others are going to say, geez, how do you do it with only those tools? So this is kind of my wrench drawer, vice grips, channel locks, needle nose, pliers. It's kind of the basics, right? 101 of tools. And speaking of 101 of tools, let's look down here at screwdrivers. Your standard Phillips and slotted, but I've also got a good assortment of picks, which really come in handy. Of course, an awl, and I've got some jeweler's tools as well for those very small screws. Hammers of every shape and size, kind of the mini sledge, rubber mallet, and I've also got this brass hammer. And what you would use that for is, when you need to pound on something that's delicate, you don't want to damage it. Say, putting a cylinder back together or something like that. I think having a good set of Allen wrenches is important. Something like this, I've got these in SAE and metrics, and also this set as well. These could be very, very important. Then over here at the workbench, a couple things. First of all, obviously, the open-end wrenches. And I've got some that are just plain open ends, box wrenches, and I've got some that are ratcheted. Doesn't really matter. Just important to have them. And of course, in this day and age, all these tractors coming from overseas, you need to have SAE or regular measurement along with metric. I mean, that's really important. Something that's really nice is this screw identifier. So these are males. So let's say you lose a screw, you've got to replicate a screw and you're not sure what size it is. That's what these are handy for. So again, those are male, and these are female, and both SAE and metric, just simply putting the screw in there, and then you'll be able to identify what size it is. These are really, really helpful. Now, kind of in the nice to have are magnetic screwdrivers. You're in your tractor and you're replacing something, and say towards the top of the engine, and the last thing you want is for it to fall through and then you can't find it. So that's when magnetic screwdrivers could come in real handy. Great for electrical work, and also around the house too. In this cabinet, I keep all of my kits. So let's take a look at what's in those kits. This is a tie rod kit, and both for your vehicle or your tractor can be very, very handy. Now this I certainly have used. This is a thread chaser. If you damage a bolt and you've got to rethread it, again, it can be very, very helpful. Crow's feet. You hook this up to your ratchet. This is for a bolt that you have a problem gaining accessibility. Are you going to use it all the time? No. when you need it, you're going to be glad that you have it. Really helpful. This is to analyze hydraulic issues. I don't know if I'd put it in the must-have, but it's pretty darn important. Hydraulics are the heartbeat of your tractor. And if you have an issue, you got to run to the dealer, or you can possibly diagnose it yourself. So this is a bearing driver kit. Is it a must-have? No, absolutely not. But it sure can make your life a lot easier if you've got to remove a bearing or reinstall a bearing, I should say. And by the way, everything that you're seeing in this video, I'm going to put links in the description. So this is an extremely helpful kit. It was not a lot of money. Every shape and size of oil filter wrench that you might want. You know, just on your tractor alone, so you've got a hydraulic filter, transmission filter, 2 fuel filters, and an oil filter. So that's 5 different types that you're going to be dealing with as far as doing, you know, if you're going to do your own maintenance, which I highly recommend. You know, I think doing your own maintenance, you know, I mean, first of all, you get the pride and satisfaction of doing it. You save a ton of money rather than bringing it to the dealer. This kit will really help you. So this is a different type of oil wrench kit. What you're going to do with these is hook this ratchet up, depending on the size filter that you have, especially for filters that's tough to get accessibility to. This is really, really helpful. It's a luxury. I agree, it is a luxury. I don't believe this is a luxury. These are for snap rings. You've got snap rings all over your tractor, and you know, you don't necessarily have to have this whole kit. You can buy them individually as needed, but I have found that buying kits is really not a lot of money. I mean, is the quality always there? No, not necessarily, but you know, how often are you going to use or need to remove or reinstall snap rings? Not all that often, but having the right one can keep you from getting pretty frustrated. At least it does with me. All right, so that's the kit. Let me show you one that I believe is an absolute must-have, and that's a grease gun. Now, I've got a battery-powered DeWalt. Do you need to have battery-powered? No, of course you don't. Again, makes the life easier, it really does, and I'm gonna have this for years. On the end of the grease gun is a lock and lube, and you simply depress this, put it on the Zerk fitting, and it locks it in, which just gives you a more positive flow in the grease. It's just much easier, it really is. So how about this? A workbench. You know, I've got mine with my seat on, so if I'm doing something kind of detailed, I can sit there, I've got the light there, and kind of work on it in an atmosphere more conducive to doing detail work. But this particular workbench, Harbor Freight, I think it was like $100. It has a couple drawers, plus the storage underneath, the pegboard in the back where I like to hang all my wrenches. I don't really like wrenches just thrown in a drawer because it's just frustrating trying to find the right size. But this little bench has worked out great for me. As a matter of fact, I believe I paid about $300 for it, and I use every inch of it. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at what's inside it. So I already showed you the sockets. I've got SAE and metric, half-inch drive, 3/8 and 1/4 inch, and of course the corresponding ratchets. Swivel drives, extensions, and this is something that I think is a must, and I'm telling you, it was not a lot of money. It is a 3/4 inch drive socket set. Very, very helpful. You're gonna use that for tightening the bolts on your tractor frame, which you should do regularly. And again, it was not a lot of money. Down here, I've just got, this is kind of my measuring drawer, bunch of different tapes, calipers. These are actually more swivels. These are very, very handy instead of trying to dig and find for an Allen wrench. We all know how frustrating Allen wrenches can be, especially to get something tight or to break something loose. These are really helpful. This is kind of where I've got my meters, my multimeter, my temperature meter, which Tess just got me, and an amp probe as well. Man, our weather's crazy. Just take a look at this. So I wanted to show you something. This is ice, pure ice. with just a slight coating of snow on it. Yeah, it's been like that for a day or so. Had an ice storm. Most of the tree branches and everything is, matter of fact, look at this. I don't know if this is gonna show up on camera, but you can see everything's got a coating of ice on it. You know, we're just outside of Buffalo and tomorrow's a Bills game. And I love my Bills, but I would not want to be in that stadium tomorrow. It's going to be a 40-degree rain. I've been there before with snow, not that bad at all. But rain, when it's that cold, is just absolutely miserable. Yeah, it's going to rain tomorrow, so this will melt, hopefully. And then a day or two later, some lake effect snow. Yeah, never a dull moment, right? Let's get back in the barn. And again, on the nice to have list, a fuel transfer tank. You know, I'm not a big fan, especially the older I get, of lifting 5-gallon gas cans and pouring them into a tractor, especially right now when I've got a hurt shoulder. But having the 5-gallon transfer tank is extremely convenient, and not having to run to the gas station to get diesel every time you need it, because the one I just showed you will hold 32 gallons. So again, must have? No. Nice to have? Absolutely. So this is a unit that was sent to me to demonstrate. This is a MIG welder and a TIG welder. In addition to that, I've got a Hobart MIG welder, a plasma cutter, and then a stick welder. So my plan is to do a kind of welding for idiots. I would star in it. I am the idiot. I know nothing about welding. I really don't, just some basic knowledge. So what my plan is I'm gonna do stick welding, MIG welding, and TIG welding. And you guys will be able to have a blast in the comments making fun of me and what have you. But having a welder, you know, is it a must-have? No, it's not. But it sure can be handy and save you a lot of money in the future and some aggravation. If you break down, you don't have to wait to get a welder or take it to the dealer or what have you. So again, is this a must-have? No, but I would definitely put it on the nice-to-have list. Oxyacetylene torches, nice to have. Again, they're not a must-have, but I sure have used them. And you can see the ones that I have are inexpensive. A couple $100, I think, is what the investment is. It might not even be that much. But again, you got a bolt that's stuck and you try to get it out, being able to heat it up is sure an advantage, or cut something loose. They have their place. Again, must have? No. Nice to have? Boy, it sure is. I am amazed at how much I use this press. It's nothing fancy. It's just a Harbor Freight hydraulic manual press, and it sure has come in handy. Now, what my plan is I want to convert it over to a pneumatic press. This handle on here can get pretty annoying, and having to make just the slightest movement requires a lot of time, really, is what it is. I mean, it's not that it's hard to do, but you can get a little bit more exact with a pneumatic press. So I'll probably do a video on that and how to convert a manual to pneumatic. And but again, must have? No. Nice to have? Yeah, it sure is. So I'm not sure if I'd put this in the must to have or nice to have, but having a pressure washer, I think is pretty darn important. You know, if you watch our channel, you know that I really believe in taking care of my equipment. Plus the fact, trying to work on a piece of equipment that's encrusted with dirt and mud and what have you, isn't a whole lot of fun. So yeah, I think it's really important to have a good pressure washer. I just have an electric. Used to have a gas-powered Ryobi, but I kind of downsized to the electric just for the simplicity. I just didn't need another engine to take care of, and it's very capable. I use it on the house, the patios, driveways, garage, and what have you, and it does just fine. So, again, I think pressure washer, to me, is a must-have. So I kind of put these in the must-have category. This is a mechanic's creeper. Nobody likes laying on the cold ground or stone or what have you to work on your tractor. And also a mechanic's creeper seat. Just again, very, very convenient. Once again, not getting any younger. And if I'm working at that height, just to be able to roll around with this little roller seat is really, really convenient. We're not talking a lot of money here. Really minimal investment, something you probably have forever. And you know, nice on the back too, it really is. So it's a couple days later after I showed you that icy mess in the driveway, and you can hear the wind on the barn. We've got some high winds expected for the next, I don't know, 20 hours or so. Talking about gusts of 60 miles an hour. I just hope we don't lose power. But right now, believe it or not, in these high winds, my son Brian and I are gonna get the Christmas lights down because the forecast for the next, well, the foreseeable future is really cold. I would just rather deal with the wind today and get it done. So I'm gonna do that now. Nothing like taking lights down in the middle of a hurricane. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I love sharing with you guys. Maybe it spurs someone that's had some difficulty in doing some maintenance or repairs to their equipment that they say, hey, geez, that would be real handy. And again, I'm gonna list all these in the description with an Amazon link, and you can check those out. But in the meantime, happy working on your tractor and enjoying it. God bless you all, and we'll see you next time on Tractors in Life.